And they can do that. We could have, as they're now getting ready to do with the Federal Reserve. I'll pick it up when we come back.
24 minutes after the hour. Thank you for joining us today. This is Joyce Riley and the Power Hour with Bob Chapman. Got a favor to ask of you all. Bubba the Love Sponge is number 3 at TalkStream Live. The Power Hour is number 4. We cannot have that. Bubba the Love Sponge. It is a talk jock. Can't have that. Number 1 on streaming in the country right now is TalkStream at TalkStreamLive.com is Glenn Beck. Number 2, Laura Ingram. Number 3 is Bubba the Love Sponge. Number 4, the Power Hour. Number 5, well, we're beating Imus. So that's good, but let's get above Bubba the Love Sponge. So if you would go to TalkStreamLive.com and click on that, I would much appreciate that. I can't stand to have Bubba the Love Sponge at number 3 slot. We're talking to Bob Chapman today. He is the author and editor of a newsletter called The International Forecaster. If you've not seen it, it is awesome. It is more information than you can possibly read in one setting, I guarantee you. And you can call 877-772-6321 to find out more about the newsletter. Bob, give out your email address because I know you're very kind and very prompt about responding to emails. Your email is?
TheInternationalForecaster.com. TheInternational, FORECASTER.com. We have a second one as well. That address is www.intforecaster.com. intforecaster.com. And if you'd like to email us and we answer all the questions, that address is bob@intforecaster.com. bob@intforecaster.com. And for those of you who would like a hard copy, there's a toll-free number, which is 877-479-8178. That's 877-479-8178. And for those of you who'd like to get a free subscription, you can call that number, and Ted Anderson is offering a French rooster gold coin for approximately $265. And if you buy that, you get a free subscription.
What is a French rooster? I don't know much about gold and silver, but what is a French rooster?
It has a picture engraved on the coin of a rooster.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And it's symbolic of France. Like you see the sports equipment, Le Coq Sportif. Okay. Well, Le Coq is the rooster.
Oh, okay. All right. So you can get a free...
So historically, it's been within the culture of France. It's one thing I took French for 8 years, but it's one thing I never studied. My daughter did, though, but she's not on the air with us today.
Okay. Well, you can call Midas at 800-686-2237 and get your French rooster and a copy and a subscription to the International Forecaster newsletter. Ted Anderson will be joining us at the bottom of the hour. Now, you were talking to us about a story you said you wanted to pick up after the break, so let me give you a chance to do that.
Let's make it simple. The decision was made to go forward and try to bring about world government. Now, in that process, the only way they can get Western European and Americans to accept world government is to bring them financially and economically to their knees. And what you're seeing happen, the market bubble and then the real estate bubble and then the market bubble, these are all things that are created by Wall Street and these think tanks at which they have, the people who work for tax-free foundations, they're all in on this, and they make this happen. So the only way that they can extend what they're doing is to continue to use Keynesian economics, which is inflation, in an easy word. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're doing. They're about to embark upon another quantitative easing. Last time it added up to close to $2.5 trillion, and that included the stimulus plus what the Federal Reserve did, and they're going to do it again. And they'll probably do it again right behind them, that and I expect them to spend $5 trillion at this time to extend this inflationary aspect of economy and finance into and through the following election. And this is what they're up to. And somewhere along the line, it could be 3 months or a year or 3 years, I don't know. But they're going to pull the plug, and we're going to go into deflationary depression because they can't continue to do this inflationary thing to the economy indefinitely.
But the Vice President just said everything is fine. It's better now. We've got all these increased jobs. The markets are way up today. We'll talk about gold after this 3-minute break. Stay tuned to the Power Hour with Bob Chapman. This is Joyce Riley. All right, we're going to get back to Bob Chapman because a lot of you want to know what is going on. 800-259-9231. If you have a question or comment for Bob Chapman, 800-259-9231. Anything that you might want to know regarding the financial arena, 800-259-9231. Please give us a call and talk to Bob Chapman. Bob, you just heard Ted Anderson talking about devaluation of the dollar. How strong do you think? I mean, that's the whole bank holiday issue, devaluation of the dollar, that is really getting everybody interested. Is this going to happen, do you think?
Yes, I do think it will happen. The timing is what's so difficult. The way the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, is acting, they expect that the trajectory that we're on will very quickly bring us to a, quote, Greek status. And if that is the case, there's a number of other countries, some 20 major countries who are in the same position. And I would think that they would have another meeting like they had in the early 70s, the Smithsonian meetings, and then the Plaza Accords of 85 and the Louvre Accord of 87, where they devalued and revalued currencies, and they also put default positions into operation. So it's going to come sooner or later. I don't know how quickly. I do know that the USDX, which is 6 major currencies versus the dollar, just went from 74 to 89. Now it's back down around 81, which means that the upward movement in the dollar has been arrested, and it's coming back down again. And for those who are technicians, it's a perfect head and shoulders, which is disastrous for the dollar. And it's going to go back down in the not-too-far-distant future and test 74 from whence it came. The all-time low is 71.18, and I think next year, maybe even sooner, that could well be tested. So that means that the value of the dollar versus other currencies is going to get worse again. And how you protect yourself is in gold and silver-related assets. And it's the only safe place for you to be. And I can't enunciate that enough. Because we see the Federal Reserve is again beginning to start quantitative easing. That's why they reduced the M3, which is money and credit, over the past 15 months to give themselves room to take money and credit back up again without creating horrendous inflation. But they're not going to be able to stop there. They always have to overdo it because they never know what the right formula is. They're all guessing. And so we are going to get higher inflation, at least over 14%, and perhaps much higher. We won't know until we get there. And the other side of that is, will they create another quantitative easing, or will they pull the plug and have a deflationary depression? And either way, you've got to be in gold and silver, which happens to be at $5 and 40 cents respectively right now.
What's at $5?
Gold. It's up $5 right now.
Oh, up $5. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
yeah.
we're beating Bubba.
Yes, beating Bubba the Love Sponge. Yes, thank you very much. I can't live with myself if we don't. So thank you all the listeners that put us above Bubba the Love Sponge at TalkStreamLive.com. We kind of beat a dead horse of buy gold, buy silver, buy gold, buy silver. People are now feeling that this is the real deal. And they have now come to the idea that that is the answer. That is the only answer right now. I mean, there's nothing that you can go to in a bank or in a savings bank or wherever. There's nothing you can go to put your money in. I was looking at my bank the other day, and it said something about the CDs are now at, 1.4% or 0.4%, something unbelievable like that. I mean, people have no choices.
Yeah, they have no way to save, and traditional savings is at an end. Zero interest rates are here to stay for a long time. So it forced people to either accept lower income from what money they have that they would get interest on, or to become speculators. It's a terrible, terrible situation, particularly for retirees. I mean, they got no way to turn.